Did I fix it? I think I fixed it, huh? There, I got it in less than 60 seconds. Woohoo! It's like a, escape room kind of game. So I think I'm on. I think I have my sound. I don't know how the lighting is. It is so funky when I move my space and then move back into my old space. To me, the lighting was just terrible yesterday. It was like it was a little too blue, not emotional blue, just the color blue. But I guess that's good for that movie Avatar. If we're gonna do that, right? Okay, is that all right? Let's see how that goes. I just love the lights. I love playing with all this stuff in the background, the chakra tower, and it sometimes reminds me of the room where the wild things are, right? Because I got all this ivy and stuff. Oh, Coco, come on in, baby. Come on in. And I got the kitty cat today. So see, I've got ivy here. Like you probably can't pick out a lot of it because there's just too much to see with your eyeballs. And I apologize for that if I overwhelm you with too much to look at. Um, I'm just going to get right into it. Thanks for being here. Let me drink a smidge of some water. Just a smidge, just a scotch. And what else? Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All of my videos are made for the tube of you, and it's an infotainment platform. Got my signage, but now it's MIA. The one I showed you yesterday that you hadn't seen in forever. Not that you care, but I care. There it is. Hold on. Sorry to leave my screen blank. See, I guess that's why it's good I have so much stuff on screen because then I'm never leaving it blank. This is Mittens, the kitty cat. He is so big. He takes up the whole dog bed. I love him. You guys never see the kitty cats. Share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell to ring, and hit that like button. I got to get those things back out of the room next door. So I just want to start reading. Annabise, you're amazing. Sorry, I forgot to text you, my dear. Let me see if I can highlight. How is your day going? I didn't have sound at first, which there's no reason for that, but I fixed it like lickety split. And I couldn't believe last night. It's like when I make a discovery with my sleuthing, especially an accidental discovery, it's so hard for me to not just jump on live immediately. Thanks for asking. Going good. How about you? I'm doing well. I'm excited to be on. Maybe I should just jump on live like in the evening when I strike what I feel like was striking gold. And maybe it's no big deal. Maybe it doesn't mean anything at all. Okay, Erica Kirk. Okay, Erica Kirk and Lindsay Halligan. Not only Annabise, did I text you about it? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Not only were they on a stage together winning the third and fourth runners up for Miss Colorado in 2009 for the 2010 pageantry, because they do them right at the end of the year. Not only that, they both went to Regis University in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, together at the same time. Sure, they might not have known each other, but do you know anything about Regis University? Because I didn't, Annabise. So I don't think I even knew that either one of them went to college there. Like I knew that Erica went to college in Colorado, that's why she was competing in Miss Colorado when she was from Arizona. I knew that it was college, and I knew that she transferred back to Arizona. So they both went to college in Denver at Regis University for the school year of 2007, 2008, and the school year of 2008, 2009. According to the information that I found, and I cross-referenced as much as I could, because we all know things can be inaccurate intentionally or unintentionally. So Erica transferred back to Arizona, but Lindsay graduated with her undergraduate there in 2011. And wait for it, they both were in the same field of study, I believe. I mean, it's not that big of a school. It's like less than 10,000 people. And I've been to a lot of different colleges. The first college that my daughter went to a couple of years ago for her undergrad was just around that same size. And that's kind of small. You kind of know everybody. I went to a school with 20,000, Miami University, and you definitely wouldn't know everybody. And then I went to a school with, like, at the time it was probably about under 2,000 when I was at Evergreen. And even then, it's not like you know everybody, but kind of, especially if you're in the same types of classes, right? Or if you're both like magnificent beauty queens with a long mane of hair down to your ass and you're trying to compete, because they literally were competing. So Erica played basketball at college, but she was mostly a bench warmer. And nothing wrong with that. I'm not slamming her for that. You got to have your bench warmers. And quite honestly, when I played basketball in high school, I was a good bench warmer too. So then Lindsay Halligan also played basketball, but maybe not in college. I found some information that said that she played at Regis University, but I tried to cross-reference it and couldn't substantiate it. I could substantiate that she played in high school. So they both played in high school, and then Erica played at Regis for the couple of years that she was there. Plus, I mean, it makes sense that you're a bench warmer when you're a freshman and a sophomore as opposed to like a junior and a senior, right? Weird that my handle isn't showing up correctly. I was noticing that too. Are we getting hacked? Just looking if it changes. Haha. I was a good bench warmer too. Right. There's nothing wrong with being a bench warmer. I mean, more power to you. I always say it builds character if you're on a losing team or you don't get a lot of playing time, that you have to have a certain kind of grit to tough that crap out. So let me read you a couple of the articles that I put in our description here. If I can pull them up. My phone has been acting up too. I honestly don't think that my phone's been hacked. I think that my phone just needs to be like swiped or whatever you call it when you kind of clean it up. I think that there's just too much information on it. It's running out of storage memory. But I mean, maybe it's the same thing with the laptop. I don't know. I miss my gaming laptop that I once had for my YouTube channel. That thing was freaking awesome. But let's see, where am I going? I'm going to my own channel to get to this article. And yeah, where's JD Vance? I guess today was Dick Cheney's funeral and Vance wasn't invited. That's a little telling. I mean, that really makes me wonder if indeed this administration is on the verge of being impeached. You guys saw the dumpster fires, insane posts today about unaliving Democrats. Plus, it kind of puts it into context with that guy who had that list of the 70 Democrats that he wanted to unalive. The one in Minnesota who went to people's homes and took out the Democratic, I think she was a representative from the House of Representatives, and her husband and their dog, and then tried to get the senator and his wife and tried to get one or two others, but he had like this laundry list of Democrats. I think a lot of these people are getting scouted on the internet. They're getting trolled, they're getting lured, they're getting baited, and then they're put into action. That's what I think. But let's just see if I can stay a little focused on this. I'm just laughing at your good bench warmer too. So how come I'm not doing it right? What's wrong with me, brain? Here we go. Did you like the thumbnail photograph, Annabes, of the first picture on the left is Lindsay Halligan with blonde hair and a big like bouffant on top of her head. And that's when she's playing high school ball. And to me, she looks like she could be 30 or 40. I mean, she totally looks like a Stepford wife. I do love the hair, but for basketball, give me an effing break. That's not how you put your hair up for basketball. Why not ribbons, right? Long fingernails and lipstick, the whole 9 yards. Maybe some false eyelashes. I mean, sure, some people play in this stuff, but basketball's a full contact body sport, in my opinion. And then Erica, you know, she's pretty glamorous too when she's out there on the court. And I don't know. I mean, I got nothing against being glamorous. I got nothing against people trying to be a little glam on the court, but you got to think about your safety, like your safety and other people's safety. Like you can't have jewelry and, you know, stuff. It's crazy out there. It's like a game of war, right? I can't believe that T said that on his Lie Social platform. I like that you call it Lie Social platform. Isn't that what the bitches at I've had it? They call it Lie Social. And then, you know, he calls it truthing when he's posting, but obviously it's lying. I did like your thumbnail. Yeah, I even know that from my basketball days. Yeah, totally. Totally. All right. So I'm first going to read you the article from the Hindustan Times. I find them to be a really reliable source. If anybody has any opinions about that, please let me know. Hindustan Times, and it's linked up in the description already. Where did Erica Kirk go to college? Know her education and background. Okay, Regis College or Regis University is, I want to say, like a think tank of Project 2025 of Heritage Foundation. Did I just blow your mind, Annabes? So both of these hot chicks that are flanking our president, the guy who's pretending to be our president, both of these hot chicks that are protecting him and distracting, you know, pretty girl, shiny thing. So they both went to a Heritage Foundation kind of university. Shocking, is it not? My coach said, quit worrying about your hair and dribble. That's cute. I love it. So I'm going to read some of this article. Erica Kirk spoke about finding faith in God after her husband Charlie Kirk's assassination when addressing those who came for the funeral service. Erica Kirk, wife of slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk, remembered her husband and spoke about finding comfort in God when addressing those present for his funeral service. You know, was that whole 9-hour thing at the State Farm Arena, was that not a performance? And then, you know how she would like pretend to be dabbing tears? It's like when everybody was talking about how there were no tears, I literally think she switched to dabbing tears on, like she was applying tears with the little napkin-y things in subsequent situations. Okay, how come? Here's what to know about Erica Kirk's educational background. Erica Kirk, 36. Oh, it's her birthday today. Shall we sing happy birthday to her? She turns 37 today. And yeah, it seems that she didn't make it to her 30s without getting married. It seems that she was married once before, maybe to some Romanian guy. It's so curious, too, that Lindsay Halligan's history has been scrubbed from the internet as well, both of them. And they're very close in age. I think Erica is 1 year older than Lindsay Halligan. So Erica, 36, studied at the Notre Dame Prep High School, private Catholic high school in Scottsdale. Graduated in 07. And again, 07 is when she allegedly competed in the Miss Arizona teen pageant. And it wouldn't be so significant to me, any of this information, if they weren't trying to hide it, because it's like hard to find or close to impossible to find. That's what makes me think it's significant. Let me just point that out. After that, she joined Regis University in Denver. Following her sophomore year, Erica returned to the Phoenix area, completing her undergraduate studies at Arizona State University. She got her degrees in political science and international relations there. Same type of things that Lindsay Halligan studied for undergraduate before Lindsay went on to law school. Erica also went on to get a degree in American legal studies from Liberty University, as per her site. She's currently pursuing a doctorate in biblical studies. In 2012, Erica was crowned Miss Arizona for that year. No, she won the event at the end of 2011. I just want to be specific where I can with information like that, because the whole thing, math gets fuzzy anyway. We don't need any help making it fuzzier. She married Charlie Kirk in 2021. That was only 4 years ago. She works at the same pace as Courtney Love, in my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly. And I didn't do my whole disclaimer, did I? Everything I say is simply my opinion for the sake of hoping to start a conversation, open up a discussion, learn something, be educational. All of my videos are made for the tube of you, and it's an infotainment platform. So, Charlie Kirk, Kurt Cobain, the initials. Oh no, another weird. Could it be a coincidence, or don't believe in coincidence? So Erica Kirk kind of seems a little like Courtney Love. Both of them within 4 years got knocked up, and then their spouse is deceased, and then they kind of slipped into their shoes, in a sense. Who sells tickets to a funeral? I did not realize that they sold tickets for it. See, I didn't even believe that that was a real audience, Annabise, and I still don't. I mean, until I talked to somebody trustworthy who was there. The whole thing was probably like a movie set, just like that freaking Snake Eyes movie. And let's not forget to talk about the other Erica Kirk. This is not the first Erica Kirk that looks just like Erica Kirk. This is crazy. Maybe it's a coincidence that there was a clone of her in Florida I don't know if it was 1960 or something like that. We'll get there. Okay, let's read your other comment. I wonder when that private Catholic high school in Scottsdale opened. My mom wanted to ship me off to Tucson to the Catholic school there. Ew. Well, we could look that up pretty easily, I think. She definitely would have sent me to Scottsdale if I had been there. Wow. In 2012, Erica was crowned Miss Arizona. She married Charlie in 21. They have 2 children together. Their son is 1 year old, and their daughter turned 3 in August. With the assassination, she's now CEO of Turning Point, TP USA. Reminds me of Beavis and Butthead, TP for the bunghole. Prior to heading the nonprofit, she had several charitable ventures of her own. Yeah, this is realistic. I think the first one was when she was 17. Right. And at 19, I think she was a millionaire, self-made. Right. At 19, she launched Everyday Heroes Like You with her mother. This nonprofit focused on providing children in hospitals with toys, books, and games, as per local media reports. Then in 2017, she started the AZ Foothills Charitable Foundation, so Arizona. Foothills Charitable Foundation, along with Michael D., publisher and CEO of local magazine, Arizona Foothills. However, this foundation has reportedly gone inactive. Well, that's interesting. Come on, babies. You can come in. Let me shut the door, though. You're welcome to come on in. Come on. The door wasn't latching, so they kept pushing it open, and it's just a distraction. So now we have 2 dogs and I think 2 cats in here. We have like a zoo. Or is that 3 dogs? Is Coco over there too? Yeah. Okay, maybe 3 dogs and 1 cat? I don't know. 3 dogs though. And at least 1 cat, if not 2. It's not that big of a room, but I just can't see over there in the corner where Coco is, and maybe Nala's over there too. The foundation has reportedly gone inactive. Huh. Just like Jeffries went inactive right after he was released from the non-prison prison that he was sentenced to in his sweetheart deal. He started up that science foundation where he could go for 12 hours a day and get massages from his girls while he was serving time. Cute, huh? My ex-friend, her choice, had a ticket to go to the funeral, but her daughter got sick, so she didn't go. OMG, that is wild. Wild, wild, wild. So maybe it was real. Thank you for that info, Annabise. Then she turned her focus to Proclaim Ventures LLC, which became her clothing and lifestyle brand, Proclaim 365. This supports Bible and 365, the ministry arm of Proclaim, the website notes. Proclaim 365 out of New York sold baby blankets, bags, t-shirts, and household items with the company's branding along with scripture verses. This all sounds really good. You know, I'm sure she was like a prodigy business genius. Being sarcastic, of course, is possible. But I'm thinking more like what I've heard with Les Wex is, even though he kind of was a real businessman and his parents were real business people too. They had retail businesses in Dayton, Ohio, where he was raised. So he's like a retail giant or God or the opposite, right? The Antichrist. He has been accused of being basically nothing but a widget factory to have shell companies to launder mass amounts of money for BB and Daddy Vladdy and others like them. Like, I don't know, maybe some like the MBS, Mohammed bin, I just looked it up this morning, Mohammed bin, and I wrote it down because I knew I was going to forget. Salam. Mohammed bin Salam, I think, is how you say his name. Anyway, other Middle Eastern princes. So Les Wex is accused of just being a giant money laundering machine. So it might just be a fake allegation. Who knows? Unsubstantiated, right? He sure did give a lot of his money away to little E for whatever reason. So biblical. Okay, I think that's that whole article. I think, let me see if there's anything more there. Don't you just hate the way they try to lure you in with all these disgusting ads? Okay, yeah, that's that whole article. Let me try to go back to the other thing that I think this one talks about the university and its affiliations. Yes. This is from Fortune magazine. Politics, colleges, and universities. A small Jesuit school in Denver has quietly become a pipeline for powerful Republicans surrounding Trump. And full disclosure, I went to a small Jesuit school in the Bay Area for my undergrad. I went to Notre Dame University there, not affiliated with the Notre Dame University in Indiana. The one I went to is not Ivy League, but it is a small Jesuit school. Okay. And I loved it. Here we go. A Catholic university nestled in the Rocky Mountains has quietly produced a surprising number of figures who now occupy influential positions within President Donald Trump's political sphere and the broader conservative movement. She decided not to be friends because I wouldn't say I was sad over Charlie Kirk's passing. I said it was horrible and not okay. And I said whoever did it needs to be punished. She wanted me to grieve. Yeah, I mean, maybe you grieved in the wrong way too, right? Because you weren't grieving him personally. You were just grieving that this awful political violence, like no violence is okay. When people say political violence is not okay, violence is not okay, but especially political violence. But it really hasn't been a thing until this douchebag knocking down parts of the White House came into power, in my opinion. Billy, babe. Now, your handle is a little bit different too. Anna noticed that her handle is different. I don't know if I'm getting hacked or what. If I am, I take it as a compliment. And if I'm not, then it's just a glitch, right? Hey, Anna, you can go to your profile page settings and change it there. But isn't yours a little bit different too, Billy? Mine is different too. What? Is it YouTube or is it just my channel? I'm curious if you have another screen and can jump into another chat somewhere. Yeah, I tried that, Billy. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? I should try making a comment from my phone and see what happens. Maybe I will after I'm done with this article here. So, Billy, I'm so glad that you're here for this. The university that Erica went to for 2 years, right up until roughly the time that her and Lindsay competed in Miss Colorado at the end of 2009, they were both students there for 2 years. I think they both graduated high school in 2007, and then they both started there in 2007. And that was the year that Erica competed in the Miss Teen Arizona. But then, interesting that she competed in Miss Teen Arizona when she was then a college student in Colorado. Because then she later, okay, whatever. That's too much nitty gritty. We'll get to that later. Anyway, so they were both at the same small college together for 2 years, and then they were both on that stage together, winning third and fourth runner-up. They both played basketball, but Erica played at college and Lindsay did not. They both played in high school. But now they're both flanking Mr. Piggy as he melts down and is desperate for people to protect him because nobody with a shred of integrity will. They've all abandoned ship. And also desperate for distractions and pretty girls that he can sexually harass that won't mind, right? Who will enjoy it. I mean, I can't imagine that they do, but they act like they do. Actually, I haven't seen him harass Lindsay. I've only seen him do it to Erica. Anyway, there's some pretty scantily clad photographs of both of them on the internet, as you can imagine. They both look like Playboy bunnies, really, honestly, if you want to get right down to it. I'm going to reread that paragraph because I'm just kind of going off in another direction here. Sorry. A Catholic university nestled in the Rocky Mountains has quietly... Stupid light. What happened? I think let's see, it just kind of got loose at the plug-in part. It's insanity. Where was I? Quietly produced a surprising number of figures who now occupy influential positions within President Donald Trump's political sphere and the broader conservative movement. Regis University, a 148-year-old Jesuit institution in Denver, has become an unexpected common denominator among conservative leaders who have shaped American politics for decades. The connection includes two women in Trump's orbit currently making headlines. Erica Kirk, and this was written when? This was written October 3rd, so a month and a half ago already. More than a month and a half ago. The new CEO of Turning Point USA, following her husband Charlie Kirk's assassination, and Lindsay Halligan, Trump's nominee for U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, both earned degrees from Regis. I'm also curious if Lindsay Halligan has really never been married before, or if that's just scrubbed from the internet too. But their alma mater has produced a much broader network of conservative power brokers who have shaped American politics for generations. Are you ready? Yes, I tried that, Billy. Mine was Billied, and now it's the handle ugh. Stupid YouTube. Yeah, there exist unredacted copies of the e-files. I just know it. Oh, yeah, for sure, Billy. Someone has them in the tapes. The brother, DOJ, Putin, witnesses, court stenographers. Well, what do you want to bet that these were the meetings with Daddy Vladdy in Alaska, with the royals over there in the UK, with the Saudi prince, like, what was it, the day before yesterday? What do you want to bet that that's exactly what these meetings are about? And the Saudi prince just happens to say he's going to give him $1 trillion. He's like, keep it quiet, man. Keep it quiet. Bingo, exactly. Yeah, he's still blackmailing everyone. And they can throw it right back at him. But, you know, he's probably like, oh, yeah, but I got the whole thing wired. I own all the media outlets. I'll just make them all say fake news or I'll pull their licensures, right? Yep. You guys are on it. Yep. All right. But this is pretty freaky. Regis University, who serves about 2,700 students. I wonder if that's just that one campus, because I think they have 5 campuses. And I saw somewhere else where it said almost 10,000. Because that's really small. If that campus is only 2,700. Was able to confirm to Fortune that Erica Kirk was a student there from fall of 2007 through the end of fall of 2009. So fall of 2007, actually it might have been fall of 2006 when she was competing for Miss Teen, because she was competing for the 2007 Miss Arizona Teen title. Okay. And then through the end of fall 2009, which is when she in the fall of 2009 was when she unenrolled from that university and moved back to Arizona. And Lindsay Halligan did graduate from the school in 2011, but offered no further comment. So if she graduated in 2011, if she went to school for 4 years there, she actually might have started a year different than Erica, because most people graduate in the spring. I mean, maybe she was an early graduate from high school. Maybe she was like a 3-year grad or something. I don't know, since she is a year younger than Erica. But graduating in 2011 could mean that she started there in the fall of 2006, if she did her degree in 4 years, which is, as we all know, that's typical, but that doesn't mean that she did. A conservative pipeline from the Rockies. Among the most influential alumni is Edwin Fuller, who co-founded the Heritage Foundation in 1973 and served as its president for over 3 decades. Fulner, who died in January, interesting, transformed the conservative think tank from a small policy shop into what the New York Times called the Parthenon of the conservative metropolis. Fulner's Heritage Foundation became instrumental in suggesting policies to Republican presidents from Ronnie Reagan to Mr. Piggy, with the Mr. Piggy administration embracing many of Heritage's recommendations in its first year. Oh, and you know what else I found out? I found out that Stephen Miller, he was one of the White House speechwriters. He had 2 roles with the White House for the whole first term. BB has copies too, exactly. Everyone that has a copy is also transferring child prawn. Yes, I want prison sentences. Yes, and yeah, they are. It's so gross. It's so gross. Where did it go? Right here. It's trying to make me look at their stupid ads. Stop. Leave me alone with your stupid ads. The university's political influence extends deep into the state-level Republican leadership as well. Jane Norton, who earned her degree from Regis, served as Colorado's lieutenant governor from 2003 to 2004 and was notable for leading efforts to outlaw gay marriage in the state. Norton later joined the Mr. Piggy administration in 2017 as Director of Intergovernmental and External Affairs for the Department of Health and Human Services. Another significant alumni is Jim Daly, who completed his MBA in International Business at Regis in 1997 and has led Focus on the Family, the influential evangelical organization based in Colorado Springs, since 2005. While not directly part of Mr. Piggy's administration, Focus on the Family says it reaches more than 6 million listeners weekly through its radio program and represents a key constituency within the conservative coalition that has supported Mr. Piggy's political movements. I like my new nickname for him, don't you? The conservative pipeline also includes Tim Neville, the Neville brothers, Tim Neville. Okay. A Regis graduate, it's spelled the same way, a Regis graduate who served in Colorado Senate from 11 to 19 as a hardline conservative known for his stances on social issues, education, and gun legislation. Neville, who earned his degree in business admin from Regis, was a frequent receipt of perfect ratings from the American Conservative Union and Americans for Prosperity. His son, Patrick, also served as a Republican leader in the Colorado House of Representatives. I'm going to drink a little water, see what you're saying, and then keep reading. I agree, Billy. Anna says, yeah. It's hideous. It's absolutely hideous. But this is what we're up against. I mean, it's a profit deal, to quote Steve Martin from The Jerk. It's a profit deal. That's what that is. I mean, yeah, they're also disgusting pervs, but it's all about the cash, right? Democratic graduates. The school has also produced some Democratic leaders. Stephen McNichols, who graduated from Regis in 1936. Well, that's a while ago. Maybe it was more liberal back then. Served as Colorado's governor from 57 to 63. He championed progressive causes, including improved school funding, university faculty salary increases, and institutional reforms for state hospitals and prisons. The university also produced John Morris, a former Colorado Senate president who earned national attention for his leadership in passing gun control legislation following the Aurora theater shooting and Sandy Hook massacre. Morris was ultimately recalled from office in 2013 owing to his gun control advocacy. So it killed his career. Lovely. Yadira Caravio, who graduated from Regis in 2003, became Colorado's first Latina U.S. Congresswoman, representing the state's 8th congressional district as a Democrat. Beyond politics, Regis has produced figures across various fields, such as actor-comedian Bill Murray, who notably dropped out after 1 year after getting caught with pot. I guess that was before they legalized it, huh? As well as athletes and business leaders. I think that's about it. Okay. And then I wanted to look up the role that Stephen Miller had in his first term. He served in the first Mr. Piggy presidential term from 17 to 21 as a senior policy advisor and the White House director of speechwriting. He was the director of the speechwriting and a senior policy advisor. He's so gross. Oh man, he's such a despicable character. Him and that Emile Beauvais, they look more like cartoonish Grim Reapers than even RFK Jr., in my humble conspiracy theory opinion, allegedly. He was a central and influential figure in shaping the administration's agenda, particularly its hardline immigration policies. Key aspects to Stephen Miller's first term. He held titles of assistant to the president and senior policy advisor and the White House director of speechwriting. So 3 positions. Assistant to the president. Does that mean he massaged his feet and did all the things Virginia Giuffre did for Little E? I bet it does. Is his nickname Bubba? I'm thinking that Bubba that they're talking about is actually Mr. Piggy himself. So, pictures of him doing that to himself. I mean, of course I'm kidding, but truth to every joke, right? Key policies. Miller was the architect of many of the first administration's most controversial and stringent policies, including the so-called Muslim travel ban, which restricted entry for travelers from several Muslim majority countries. The zero tolerance policy that resulted in the separation of thousands of migrant children from their parents at the U.S.-Mexico border. I'm sure you guys are with me. Hey, Fearless Fred, everyone's got their old handle. That those kids probably never got returned to their families. Those kids are probably in, transportation, if you know what I mean. You do, I know. Efforts to roll back civil rights and implement sweeping deportation influence. Let's see, what say you? For 20 minutes before news, no notification here. I am so sorry you don't get your notifications, sir. And yes, 20 minutes before news. Thank you for coming in and saying hi. Lovely to see you. How's your day going? It's Thursday, right? The 20th. It's a week before Thanksgiving. It happens so fast, doesn't it? And then Black Friday. A week from tomorrow is Black Friday. How can that be? All right. influence. I want to read a little bit more about Stephen Miller because I think it's good to stay on top of this stuff as much as we can. Known for his strong anti-immigration views, Miller worked closely with then Senator Jeff Sessions, my favorite. Actually, the SNL character, that was my favorite. That guy was weird AF, man. If you think some of these characters are weird, that guy was even weirder. I'll never forget Kate McKenna. Is that her last name? Kate McKenna? Doing the Elf on a Shelf Jeff Sessions. I'll see if I can find a link to one of those skits and put it in the description just for funsies. Before joining the Mr. Piggy campaign in 2016, he was one of the few long-serving advisors who remained in favor with President Piggy throughout the entire 4-year term. He also reportedly wrote the American Carnage speech for Mr. Piggy's first inauguration in 2017. Ew, gross. I don't remember the American Carnage speech, but that doesn't sound good. Maybe we should look that up. Do you guys remember it? Post-term activity. After the first term, Miller founded America First Legal, AFL, a conservative legal advocacy group that has filed numerous lawsuits challenging the Biden administration and other entities on various issues, including immigration and corporate diversity policies. Second term. In the current second Mr. Piggy administration, beginning in 2025, Miller serves as White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security Advisor. So a position with even more power and fewer internal rivals. For more information on Stephen Miller's career, visit his biography. Yeah, maybe we'll do that later. But I wanted to look at the American Carnage thing. Are you guys familiar with that? American Carnage inauguration speech. Dare we look it up? I don't want to read the speech. I just want to see this American Carnage stops right here and stops right now, President Piggy said on the steps of the Capitol. And then Politico, an interesting article on the day of his second inaugural speech that is titled, I and Me, How Trump's Second Inaugural Speech is Different from American Carnage. Let's read a little bit of that. Politico is a good resource. President Piggy wants you to know he won. And elections have consequences. How many times has he talked about winning? It really makes you wonder if he did, right? So sick of all the winning. Too much winning. He lingered on his electoral victory in his second inaugural speech on Monday, thanking specific groups for their votes, something that served this time to boost his argument that his electoral victory translates to a broad mandate. Bullcrap. And he laid out a series of detailed policy proposals. Even with the cheating, it was not a mandate. It was barely a win. I think it was like 1.5% of a lead. And I don't believe that that was legitimate anyway. But then if they want to call it a mandate, they should have made it more of a landslide. But, you know, it's a lot trickier to manipulate an election than you would think. And thank goodness for Election Truth Alliance and these other groups that have been breaking it down and showing exactly where things are inconsistent and not possible. It's a little more complicated than just cheating. Like, you'd think, how hard can cheating be? Especially him. How hard can cheating be? I do it all the time. No big deal. I got this. But yeah, when you have like more votes in a county than you have registered voters in that county, and those are the kinds of things that they're finding, right? Or like counties where the entire county voted for Mr. Piggy, not a single vote for the other party. And that these are like Democratic counties. Sure, anything's possible. You got to keep an open mind. I'm off all next week. Other leg getting the vein closure procedure 11/24. Oh, well, good. I'm so glad you're doing that, Fred. Good for you. That's awesome. And then you'll have a little bit of downtime to let it heal up. But yeah, I mean, some movement is going to be some of your best healing, but very, very lightweight, especially in the beginning, right? Super lightweight, just chilling out and keeping your feet up. That's important. It's terrible because like that's like the best part of being injured or sick, but don't you get sick of it so fast? It's like if you can just revel in it. What's going on back there? The little one is scratching herself and whacking stuff. Come here, baby girl. Come here, Chi-Chi. Let me pick her up and read a little bit more. Come here, honey. Come here. Come here. Oh, you are such a cutie. There's the sweetheart. There's the sweetheart. And see, Mittens on the dog bed, he's about the size of this girl. She looks a little bit bigger because her long hair, but they're right about the same size. They're both about 19 pounds, I think. Oh, she's so cute. She's had lots of baths, lots of brushings, but she's still a little mop top. She's even had some trimmings, but she's still a little mop top. We love her like that, don't we? What a face. What an adorable little girl she is. And these floppy ears. They're the floppiest. She's like Lady in the Tramp. She's such a cuddler. Give me a hug. Give Mama a hug. Ooh, there's a good girl. Watch this. There's a hug. There's a hug. No, she'll just like stare you down. Have a staring contest. Aw, silly baby. Does she look like a lemur or a sloth? She kind of looks like a lemur, doesn't she? Or is it a sloth? What creature does she look like? I think she looks a lot like a Sasquatch. Here, watch this. Come here, baby. Can you see her? Oh, no, I'll try to set it up so that you can see her when she's standing up like that. It's so cute. Hope you recover quickly, Fred. She's adorable. Oh, I know. I love her. She's a pain in the butt, but she's adorable. She's very high maintenance, and now I've got her hair on me. And then Mookie's in here. Mookie. Okay, I'm going to keep reading because we're already close to an hour. And I don't know if you guys want to stay on longer, but I could probably just go for about an hour. One sec, let me respond to a text real quick. And get back onto that screen. The mandate, and he laid out a series of detailed policy proposals reflecting a more aggressive push than at the start of his first term. A Politico comparison of Mr. Piggy's 2017 and 25 inaugural addresses show how his rhetoric and priorities have changed and how America has too. Mr. Piggy re-enters the Oval Office after 8 years, prepared to take advantage of expanded executive authority with a greater belief that he has an electoral mandate and still carrying frustration about attempts to prosecute him after his first presidency. Well, I sure hope that he gets stopped in his track soon because he's lost his mind like no one's ever seen before, right? I have to give back my son's family's cat. They are coming for Thanksgiving. Aw, that's probably so hard. And Anna B says the bell-bottom legs. Totally, the bell-bottom legs are the best. She's like Gumby. Absolutely. Yeah, animals are the best, aren't they? I mean, people are cool too, but sometimes people can just be a little difficult, a little too high maintenance. I mean, not me, of course, but everyone else, right? I know, of course, me too. I'm the first to admit it. More aggressive approach. Let me reread that part because I lost my spot. His rhetoric on topics including immigration, tariffs, and culture war. Well, that might be right where I was. Issues reflect his more aggressive approach as he takes office for the second time. And he also spoke in first person, far more positioning his personal narrative of victimization as part of the country's decline that he resolved to turn around. Always playing the victim, man. It's crazy how these macho men play the victim, is it not? But that's typical gaslighters and narcissists. We all know that. We're on to them, right? We're on to him. Technically, I could go back to work the next day, but it is hard to avoid heavy lifting at my job. Yeah, definitely a good idea to take it easy for the first few days. That'll pay off dividends big time. Absolutely. Absolutely. In total, Monday's address was roughly twice as long as his first address because he loves to hear himself talk. 8 years ago, and nearly 2,900 words this time compared to just under half that the last time. That's hilarious. Among the terms mentioned most this time around that had not come up 8 years ago, Panama. Weren't we just talking about Panama yesterday? Because there was a bunch of money hidden in Panama. A whole bunch of Swiss bank account money hidden in Panama, probably having to do with all the transporting, right? Oh, no, she's trying to eat my phone cord. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. Panama tariffs and the election. Such a beautiful word, tariffs. It's my favorite. Here are some of the ways Monday's inaugural speech differed from his first and reflected a very different approach to his second term. Trump talked more about himself. Well, that's shocking. Mr. Piggy talked more about himself. Let's see. And yeah, Fred has 1 minute before the news, right? I'm trying to highlight your comment. And good luck with your surgery, with your procedure, if I don't see you before then. Hopefully I will. An emboldened Mr. Piggy re-entering the presidency talked a lot more about himself this time. He repeatedly situated his speech in the first person, speaking at length about experiences, including his legal woes, woe is me, damsel in distress, and the assassination attempt that wounded him in Butler, Pennsylvania last year. Now, if it's proven that that was staged, that's an act of treason for sure. Especially if it was staged and it cost real people their lives, like I think it did. I think that firefighter was a true fatality, and I think Thomas Crooks was also a true fatality. But I think he was recruited the same way as like the guy who went on the spree in Minnesota, and recruited the same way as Tyler Robinson, and recruited the same way maybe as Matthew Leibelsberger. I don't know. We'll stop there. In total, he used the first person I 33 times in his speech, with me or my used a combined 17 times. This was in sharp contrast to his first inaugural address when he used those three pronouns just 4 total times. That's wild. Some of the use of the first person came from Mr. Piggy tying policy changes he seeks to how he has been personally affected, because it's all about him. For example, he promised to combat a weaponized justice system after he was convicted of hush money crimes in New York last year and faced other charges for interfering in the electoral process and handling of classified documents that were abandoned after his electoral victory. Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents, he said. Wait, isn't that what he's doing right now today? Isn't that exactly what he's doing today? What he woke up truthing about on Truth Social? Let me read that again. Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents. Hello, you douchebag. He said, pausing to add, something I know something about. Something I know something about. Man, he's weird. It's too bad his brain can't come up with more vocabulary. Mr. Piggy's repeated first-person language also served a broader purpose, one he long conveyed on the campaign trail. He himself, not the Republican Party or business leaders or a unified country, is best suited to resolve the country's woes. I can fix it alone. I alone can fix it. And yeah, now I'm seeing clearly why he thought he could pull so many strings to get so much done on day one, because he thought he could just threaten everybody with, the files, the flies, the Trumpstein flies, and that they'd instantly stop wars and lower prices and anything else he wanted, because he'd be like, do it, or I'm outing you, calling you out. And alluding to the assassination attempt against him, he even suggested his presence was that of divine intervention. Suggested? He's straight up said, somebody with a lot of power like me. Was that what he said when he was in Texas? Sorry for scratching my nose. Someone with a lot of power like me. I was saved by God to make America great again, he said. This time, Mr. Piggy used the inauguration as a campaign victory lap. Mr. Piggy lingered on his 2024 election victory, positioning his narrow popular vote win as a broad mandate for his policy agenda. We had a powerful win. Well, why not strong? Everything is strong, strongly. We had a strong win, but this was powerful and strong, no doubt. Macho Man. He loves that song, doesn't he? We had a powerful, or no, he does the YMCA song. He should do the Macho Man song. Hal Sparks is right. He's always like, man, you missed your opportunity with Macho Man. We had a powerful win in all 7 swing states, and the popular vote we won by millions of people, he said. He also specifically thanked Black and Hispanic communities and auto workers of our nation for their support of his campaign. There's one big difference for Trump in 2025. 1 second. Let me see if I have a hanky or something. I do. I have a better one over there, but pardon me while I scratch my nose. It is so itchy. I might have to grab my other hanky. I think it's those little ultra fine little baby dog hairs from Cheese Ball, from Cheesy Poof. There's one big difference for Mr. Piggy in 2025. When he took the oath of office in 2017, he was eligible and planning to run for re-election, although his surprising victory the year prior had been marred by losing the popular vote to Hillary bitch-ass Clinton. He did not include an electoral victory lap in that speech. I mean, she really pissed me off when she pulled what she pulled to knock Bernie Sanders out of that candidacy ticket. I don't think he could have won against Bernie Sanders. And can you imagine how different the whole planet would be if Bernie had been in that office from 2017 to 2021? He probably would have been 2 terms, so probably an 8-year term. And then I wonder who he would have had as his VP, and then they'd probably have run the last time around. Those dumb automakers who promised their votes to Biden, they made a big mistake. Well, Elon made the biggest mistake in rigging the election and hijacking with the star thing. What was that thing called? Can't even think of it right now. It's all just so effed up. Elon, what an effing loser. What is that star thing? Starlink. Yeah, Starlink. Okay. There's one big difference for Mr. Piggy in 2025. Oh, I think I already read that part. Hillary Clinton. He did not include an electoral victory lap in that speech and did not mention election results, swing states were voting. But this time, the piece of crap, the Mr. Piggy, described his win as a mandate and used it as justification for the aggressive policy agenda he outlined elsewhere in the speech. The recent election is a mandate. God, I got sick of hearing him say that word. Mandate. It's like he thinks if he just says things a whole bunch of times, then he wills it into fruition. And sadly, it kind of works because there's so many sycophants and people that are duped by him. It's a cult. It is a cult. So yeah, the whole thing with like repeating words or using your hand to say the snake of the line or to do your accordion hands. These, I think, I haven't even looked it up, but I'm pretty sure those have got to be techniques of hypnosis, right? I'm sure they teach those to you in school for, cults. Let's finish this up. The mandate, the recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal of all these many betrayal. To reverse a horrible betrayal and all these many betrayals. This is a quote. He's such a freaking stable genius. That have taken place. He said, adding later that the victory showed the entire nation is rapidly unifying behind our agenda. Immigration, the fixation of Mr. Piggy since he first ran for office, got a few mentions in his 2017 inaugural address, all in context of the need to secure the nation's borders. But as the nation's immigration policies have shifted, Mr. Piggy's rhetoric has escalated. Reflecting that evolution, Mr. Piggy went far further this time, promising to immediately stop illegal entries and begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. Does that include his criminal spy mail order bride wife? Fingers crossed. Yeah. Probably not. I'm not going to hold my breath. Okay. I'm going to reread that last sentence because it's so vile. Begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. Yeah, who cares if they're like asylum seekers, since he thinks that means that they're from insane asylums anyway. He's so freaking twisted. He twice used the word invasion in reference to the border, a word that he has used in speeches for many years, but was not in his first inaugural address. the criminal, the cult leader, Mr. Piggy, detailed a long list of executive actions he planned on immigration, not just for securing the border, but also with respect to deportations. His specific list of policy promises signals how Mr. Piggy's second administration is more prepared to attempt drastic immigration enforcement as he re-enters the presidency. It's just downright scary because he's just starting with, the people that he calls the illegal immigrants. I mean, many of them are legal immigrants and many of them are citizens, but he's coming after everybody. Like, I think most of us here are not fooled, but I think a lot of people nationwide are fooled, and they think, oh, good, this will get the problem under control and I'm safe. And it's like, no, nobody's safe in a situation like this. Nobody. I don't know, but I'm really hoping that maybe, again, fingers crossed, just maybe all of the extreme crazy that he just keeps ratcheting up higher and higher, maybe it can bring all of this to an end. The whole crisis paradigm, the whole crisis model that things have to get worse before they can get better. Oh, man. Let's just be done with the Mr. Piggy Trumpster fire. Just lock him up already. Remember when he was always saying that about Hillary? It's just so freaking crazy. Like, he's not going to resign because he knows he'll go straight to prison, basically. And so will all the people that he owes all the money to. They'll all be coming after him. Impeachment, please, 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 please. I know people are working on it today as we speak, and maybe things have already gone down that I'm oblivious to because I've been live for the last hour and 15 minutes, but I doubt it. I don't want to get my hopes up too high. I have been scared about it, and we have been here for generations, even before the areas we live became the U.S. I am so sorry, Anna Bees, my dear. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I know. I was terrified at the idea of him even being on the ticket, but let alone winning. I mean, I was just crushed. I saw this crap coming. I'm pleasantly surprised at the pushback. I thought more people would be more scared. So thank goodness people are not backing down and they're not taking this crap, because we cannot comply in advance. That's the worst thing any of us can do. Criticized for efforts to socially engineer race and gender. Okay, so I want to stop reading this because it seems like it's one of those articles that goes on. It doesn't go on forever. Should I finish it real quick? Maybe I'll finish it later and then I'll address it in the next live if necessary. Because I wanted to talk about the Erica Kirk that was the other Erica Kirk, because it could just be coincidence that they have the same name and that they're like carbon copies of each other. But again, it goes back to the Kylie Rodney thing and the eugenics thing. And even the Idaho 4 thing, not to be completely insane with the whole conspiracy theory bullcrap, but this whole eugenics thing that these billionaires were way into. Let me find it. It was an article. It was a video from Dee Dee's Got a Podcast. Let's see, that I saw, but I know that there's a lot more about it online because I looked it up. Erica Kirk, Florida. So she was married to a politician in Florida. So I'll just read you the AI overview. It's uncanny how much her facial features, let alone her name, are the exact same as Charlie Kirk's widow. Erica Kirk was the First Lady of Florida from 1967 to 1971 as the wife of Governor Claude Kirk Jr. She was born in Germany, lived in Brazil. Could have been another honeypot spy, in my opinion. Mail order bride. She was very good looking, and the guy she married was not. And he was a lot older, too. I don't know, just saying. Was also known for her exotic past before marrying Kirk and becoming the Madam X of Florida politics. Erica passed away in April of 2023 in West Palm Beach, Florida. West Palm Beach, Florida. When have I heard of other things going on in West Palm Beach, Florida? Former First Lady. She served as Florida's First Lady during her husband, Charlie Kirk's term as governor from 67 to 71. Erica was born in Germany in 1934. She was married once before, just like this Erica Kirk, in my opinion. Married in 1967, lived in Palm Beach County for over 50 years, had overcome a severe illness, which resulted in acute respiratory failure. Passed away on April 26, 2023. April 26th. Really? I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I think that's Melania's birthday. But she was 88. She was 88. Okay. But yeah, I'm pretty sure April 26th is Melania's birthday. Let's look that up real quick. Isn't it crazy that I can remember these people's birthdays? I can barely remember my own sometimes. Melania Trump birth date. April 26th, 1970. Oh, because wasn't it on her birthday that shipping container crashed into that bridge in Baltimore? Let's see. Shipping container crashed into bridge in Baltimore. China shipping container. That was March. Sorry. No, that was the month before Melania's birthday. So that was March of 2024. It was it 2 or 3 months after the shipping container magnate family's daughter, Angie Cho, was remote control driven in her Tesla into the water? I mean, not remote control Tesla driven. What am I talking about? That can't be done, can it? Yeah, it can. Anyway, Angie Cho, who is Mitch McConnell's wife's sister, and their whole family had that $1 billion shipping company. And I want to say that she passed away January or February of 2024. Let's see. Angie Cho, actually. I think it's CHAO. Let's try that. Something like that. February 11th of 2024. So a month before the shipping container took out the bridge. Interesting. Pretty weird, huh? I don't think it was a coincidence that happened in a Tesla. I don't think it was a coincidence that happened to... She had been appointed as the CEO of her family's multi-billion-dollar China shipping company. She was the little sister of what did Mr. Piggy call Mitch McConnell's wife? Crazy Chinese lady? Crazy Chinese lady? Let me ask AI. AI knows. What did Donald Trump call Mitch McConnell's wife? He had his own little nickname for her. It doesn't want to say it, but I'm not looking in AI. I'm looking at all. I think AI will tell me the truth here. Let's see. It doesn't want to say it. It says that he nicknamed her Coco Chow, and he called her China loving wife. No, he called her like crazy China lady. Let me look that up more better. It's just trying to give me the sanitized version. Did Trump call Mitch McConnell's wife crazy China lady? Yes. There. See, you have to be so direct. It didn't want to tell me about it. China loving wife Coco Chow in several media posts in 2022. So he wasn't even president. So weird that 2 years before her sister is red rummed, accidentally unalived in a Tesla on her own property, malfunctioning. Exactly 2 years before that, the Mr. Piggy is making derogatory posts about her big sister, Elaine Chow. She was the former transportation secretary. Yeah, he loved calling her crazy. Crazy. Isn't it funny the way the internet wants to sanitize it? And crazy China lady is what I remember him calling her. But anyway, we'll let that go for the moment. We're gonna have to wrap up. I love you guys. Thanks so much for being here. I say have to wrap up just because I'm kind of fading a little bit, and I have a tic tac, but I ran out of water, and it's been 1 hour and 23 minutes. I want to make my videos a smaller distance of time so that it's easier for people to watch them. I mean, I know a lot of people don't even want to take an hour to watch a video, but some of us like the videos that are longer. So, Billy, do you remember Lindsay saying at Kylie's celebration of life that Kylie swam in ocean? I think I remember that, Anna Bees. She may be related. Swam in ocean. She may be related. Tell me what you mean, Anna. Because there were a lot of women of different ages in Truckee who looked exactly like Kylie. I've seen many photos. And there was that whole thing with the Idaho 4 with the clone thing. Like, you know, they had like the video camera set up behind the Red Rum house, the slaughterhouse. And there was like that whole like Revenge of the Clones theme. And man, did you hear the music that was playing when Mr. Piggy was like welcoming MBS into the presentation that they did in the Kennedy Center? That presentation was in the Kennedy Center. Let me see if I can play that music real quick before we wrap up, because it was like so Star Wars. It was so dark. It was so effing bizarre. And then they both looked really dark, but especially MBS. Maybe Mr. Piggy is like threatening us, the United States public, with MBS. He's like, look who I have next to me. I will sick him on you, especially the media, right? I think that that's exactly what it was. Music played during the introduction of MBS and Donald Trump in the Kennedy Center day before yesterday. Let's see. It was very, very spooky. Let me see if YouTube will just pull it right up if I put it in the search bar. So you know what I'm talking about. If otherwise, I'll find a link and put the link in the description. Introduction of MBS by Trump in the Kennedy Center. Sorry, I've got the Tic Tacs in my mouth, so I'm talking funny. Yeah, I might just have to put it up. Well, here's the thing. Let me see if I can cue it up real quick. This is why I need a staff, right? MBS is brown, though. How can kinks like him? I know, because he got money and he's got dirt on. Okay, here we go.
Your Royal Highness, we now invite you to deliver your remarks. The floor is yours. Sumu Sayyidi al-Kalima lak.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
حضور الكرام، يسعدنا نلتقي بكم اليوم في واشنطن بعد 6 أشهر من انعقاد منتدى الاستثمار السعودي الامريكي في الرياض، الذي انعقد خلال زيارتكم فخامة الرئيس، حيث وضعنا الأسس لشراكة تقوم على
I think we need Melania to translate, because she speaks like every language under the sun, right? And I really wonder about that big cape, like that it's some type of like bulletproof blanket. I really wonder. It's funny because you know how a lot of teenagers and people these days walk around in their fuzzy bathrobes and pajamas at Walmart. That's kind of what that reminds me of. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go and get on with your day. I love you so much. Thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to hit your like button. Drink your water, eat your protein, eat your fruits and veggies, and try to get some fresh air and sunshine and just chillax. See you tomorrow, hopefully. Let's maybe shoot for around 2. I was trying to shoot for 2 today, but then I wanted to be watching Boston Brian's live, which also started at 2. So that's why I pushed it back. All right. Love you guys. Thanks again. And the replay crew.